So it's been a little bit since I've made a video talking about starting a successful moving company, but I just want to kind of come back to that right now. Between crypto and some personal family issues, I know I haven't really had a lot of time to make more videos for some of the guys who have subscribed for the moving videos, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I can see a lot of you subbed from my video, the first one, how to start a successful moving company. If you haven't seen that video, you should probably go check that out. But yeah, so in today's episode, I kind of want to talk about why you should have a warehouse and when is it the right time to get a warehouse. Now, I started my business in 2017, 2018, kind of in the end of 2017, beginning of 18. And in 2020, May of 2020, I signed my lease for my warehouse. And within 2 years, I was able to have a warehouse. And the benefits of that is so like exponential, because most of the times if you're renting in like a commercial building, like for example, this is my warehouse right now. Please excuse the boxing bag. That's just something for personal use. But then over here, you can see I have all my packing materials, my ladder for when I'm stacking up shipments. For example, like this one over here, it looks a little messy because it's got clothes up top, but it's really a nice pack actually. Right there, you can see it's pretty sturdy. It's got the light stuff up top. The same way over here, we kind of just pack the furniture to the bottom and the boxes, and then we kind of do like the loose stuff up top, and so goes for the rest of the warehouse. But we also have some other clients here who do some home staging, so we have a whole entire sector here for them. It's pretty sweet, looks pretty good. And the thing about it, guys, kind of going back to what I just derailed from, most of the times if you're renting from a space out, like an apportioned warehouse from a bigger building, so what they're going to do is they're also going to offer you parking spots with it, and you're going to be able to park your whole fleet there. Some people, my landlord doesn't allow it, but some people allow for a dumpster on site, which is huge. It's absolutely huge. But I'm in an area where that's not really possible, I guess. So at least that's what they say to me. But if you do junk removal as well, it's phenomenal to have a dumpster on site. So you're not going between different locations, and especially if it's a nice big building and you have a dumpster, you got cameras all the way around. But anyway, so essentially at this point right now with my warehouse, this is only half my warehouse too, guys. I have another section farther down in the other part of the building. Maybe I'll show you guys in another video. But in just this section of the warehouse, I already pay my entire rent. You can use it to literally break even and then start profiting. You can use this as a whole entire separate portion of your business. And that's what I plan on doing eventually. Like right now, my entire downstairs, I had a pretty big donation contract with a third party, like donation outsourcing call center, whatever. That being said, it's filled with stuff for resale. And that's what we've been doing, so which created another portion of my business where, like, you get some extra cash here and there from Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, like that kind of stuff. But the real money's in the storage, guys. The real money's in the storage, and you can get to the point where, like, say you use a POS like Square or Clover where you can send recurring payments. I mean, like, to see your small business elevate and kind of become like this big thing. Like, I used to rent out a storage unit for extra space, and they charge me every single month on the first, and now it's like I'm doing that. And every single month on the first, I have it set up through Square, and I get my month's rent for my tenants. And it's good to see just on the first of every month to have cash flow coming in every single time. You're not stressing about your warehouse rent for the very least, at least. And you have your parking, and it's secure, and it's awesome. And it's a great idea to have a warehouse as long as you can make that step. Now, when did I officially decide like it was time to do it? I saved up enough money. I would suggest, like, if you're going to rent out a warehouse, make sure that you have enough to at least pay like 6 months to a year, because I signed a 2-year lease. But make sure you have enough to to cover yourself for 6 months to a year in case anything goes wrong. Just make sure that you have something to fall back on. But that's kind of when I made that leap, and I was like, okay, it's time to do it. And it was more so because I started getting a lot of people asking me for storage. And like, as you're starting to progress with your moving company, people are gonna ask you for storage, and then you're just gonna be telling them no, and that's just money off the table every single time. So what you want to do is, once you feel comfortable at that point, shop around, do some like looking around. Like the one I'm renting right now, actually, it's not the cheapest one in around the area, but the thing is that also, like, your customers are going to want to walk in and know that their stuff is somewhere secure. Like, you don't want to be in a rundown building with poor electrical wiring and all that fun stuff, so that they're like concerned, because most of the times customers will ask you, like, how is the place, is it climate controlled, is it secure, and if you're in a bad part of town where people can break in, or if again, you're worrying about the electrical where something could catch fire. I know there's a couple of buildings in my area that were actually condemned because of poor electrical work. So that's something that you got to really keep in mind. But you want it to, first of all, it has got to be financially feasible for you, but it's also got to be somewhat presentable. Like, I actually lucked out. I did get this like when COVID just started as well, so I got a pretty good deal on this, and hopefully I get grandfathered into it on the renewal of my lease, so that I can definitely keep up with the same rates. But it's something awesome, guys. It's a whole nother part of your business. It's consistent cash flow. Like I was saying, it's consistent cash flow. You get it every single month, so you're not really worrying like, oh, now it's time to pay my rent. Like, it's already there. And then there's just room to expand. Like, again, like, so this is the more expensive part of my warehouse. The one downstairs is about half the price of what I'm paying here per square foot. And if I filled that one up, then it's like, it would be almost as if I'm paying my expenses, all my expenses, personal and business expenses, if I fill up that second portion of the warehouse. So again, you can create a very, very great form of passive income through warehousing, and I highly suggest you look into it. And if you find a nice building and that's secure in even a more rundown part, more towns that are more rundown have cheaper rates per square foot. So you just got to make sure, like, whether you want to set up security cameras or whatever, or your own gates, but it might be worth it. Warehousing there's a lot of money behind warehousing. And then you have like the ability to have a little floor for like resale, or say you're want to take the time to like repaint furniture or something like that. You can open up that door. And not only that, guys, like, I have a whole entire office back here too. I don't know if I ever showed you guys the setup, but I have a couch in there, a TV. I have my big desk there with my studio behind there that I record. And now actually what I'm doing is I filled it up with more boxes, because it's essentially more floor space. And this year I'm going to start a studio in my apartment. I think this is probably going to be some of the last videos that I'm really filming here. Maybe I will make more videos here, but it won't be like studio-esque. Like, I don't really like personally to film in there. It's a little dark, it's a little gloomy, and my apartment's just better. It's brighter, it's a better vibe. Like, I don't like staying here too much. It's a little bit like a dungeon, but it's cool, like, for now, and it's done its part. But it's another thing, guys. If you have a warehouse and they incorporate something like that, I mean, you have a whole entire like studio you can set up. It's awesome. And then you get your little recreational stuff over here. Like, I got my little boxing bag, Those are some cat scratches, by the way, if you guys are wondering what's on my face. But anyway, so that being said, hope you guys got some use out of this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. It's really going to help me fight that terrible YouTube algorithm. And let me know in the comments down below if you're going to make the move to get a warehouse, if it's time that you feel comfortable to make that next step. And I highly recommend it if you are. So that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video.